Hi everybody, my name is Jackie G and welcome to Art Talk Tuesday. For those of you that don't know us, my company is Gwartzman's Art Supplies and we're located in Toronto. I always say we're between two of the best neighborhoods, Chinatown and Kensington Market. So I do appreciate you joining me, and I love doing these lives. I have to tell you, I look forward to it every week, not only coming up with topics, but knowing that I can share with you things that are going on in the art material industry. Of course, you know I love to tell you about new products and things that are happening and everything else that's going on. So I didn't want to keep our guests waiting too long. I hope they're going to be connecting very shortly. We are going to be speaking with the New Wave company. They manufacture the U-Go products. So it's quite exciting for us to be chatting with them. For those of you that aren't familiar, they make a wide range of plein air products. So whether it be pallets and things, which I have all over my table, all different kinds, whether they are plastic, glass, strip pallets. They have the amazing U-Go plein air boxes. This happens to be one of their very small ones, so we'll be chatting about those. There's a couple new things that we brought in, which we saw at our trade show in April, so that is great. And of course, in recent times, they actually bought the Masterson products, this company. So any of you that are familiar with the Masterson Stay Wet product, they are now the owners, and it's great because their products fit into many of the U-Go products as well. So the owners of it are Keith and Kyle. I look forward to chatting with them, and hopefully, as I say, we'll be connecting. But you know me, I can talk through this no matter what, so I can tell you about some of their products too. But I always like it when I can have a guest who can sort of, chat with you and tell you about and maybe show you some of the things or give you little tidbits that I don't know about. So I'm going to wave because I always forget about that. So hi to everybody that's joining in. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I know my staff are doing all kinds of crazy stuff with the phone at the moment. So I'm still going to keep talking because I can still see something there. I did want to also let you know what's great about their products is not only are they made by the U-Go, so they do make this wide range. It is a family-run business. It's run by two brothers. They are the nicest guys, some of the nicest people that I know in our industry, and they really have a passion, which is also, something that I am interested in. They have a passion for their products. They absolutely love what they do, and they're always trying to come up with something that is going to make it better. What's better for the artist? What's better for the plein air artist? If you follow their Instagram posts, they're always showing these amazing artists from, usually the US, but they are just very passionate about what they do, and it's always a treat when I get to see something else that they have come up with. They're also endorsed by Michael Harding. So any of you Michael Harding people, any of you Michael Harding fans, they're endorsed by Michael Harding. He loves their products. He loves their grades. So something like this, which is small, which you can carry and take with you, all different sizes. They're strip pallets. I've got oodles of stuff sitting here on the table. They're also endorsed by and I do have a sample here, the ampersand products, because ampersand products, which we now carry a really wide range, are all fit into their boxes, so they're quite small. So this is another way that you can use their product and take it with you. You can see that it's going to go close, and you don't want to close it when you're painting on it, of course, but this is just to show you that it does fit. And when you use the box, of course, they're going to talk about it, these great magnets that they have. So we're going to get to talk to you about that as well. So we're going to just see. I may have to just hold on a second because we're trying to see where Keith and Kyle are. So let's just give it a second, and we're going to invite them. Yes, please, let's invite.
Says they're unable to join.
Okay, so we're inviting them and we'll see but this is the way it goes when you're doing a live, right? This is how I always think about it. You know, you never know what's going to happen. It's like when they're doing a TV show in front of a live audience and, you know, you never know how things are going to turn out. Well, that's the way it happens when you're doing a live chat. So we can prepare all we want and yet these things can happen. So while I'm chatting, if you do have any questions or comments, I'll do my best to answer them or have Keith or Kyle answer them for you. If you want to know something, if you have been intrigued by one of their products and you're not sure about it, or you've always wondered about it, send in your comment. As I say, we'll do our best to have it answered for you. And while we're waiting for them, maybe I'll show you a couple of things that we've brought in that are new, and that way, once we get to talk to Keith and Kyle, you can ask all the questions you want about some of the new things that we have. So, sorry, that's okay. So I'm going to show you. Yes, this is one of the new ones that I saw at the show. You know, if nothing else, what I really liked about it was the color. It was just this natural wood color, and it's one of their newer tabletop palettes. I thought it was a great size. This is about 12 by 16. It's got these little lifts on the back of it, which you can use. I thought the color was great because, I don't know if you can tell, I didn't want to unwrap it because it just is so pretty, but it's a neutral brown, just like they have the neutral gray. And I thought when you're putting your colors on here, they're really going to pop. So this is something new for us. I know that they've had it before. Oh, I'm going to say hello to sunny San Diego. Welcome, welcome. So nice to see you. Thanks for joining in. So this is, again, if you're familiar with it from San Diego, then you'll know the New Wave palette, which are made, I believe, in Pennsylvania. So not quite part of near San Diego, but closer to us, I guess. So this is one of their new ones in a neutral color. And as I say, these are great. Very happy that we brought these in. And this was something new from Masterson Stay Wet. Now they've had these before, but this was something kind of cool. I like the way that it showed how it uses the water in here, and it's a cleaning availability so that the water sort of flushes through and you can clean your brushes with this. It's really, really a neat product. So this is brand new, and it is up on our website. Again, anything that I see or we talk about is in the store and also on our website. What else did I want to tell you about that? Wow, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can connect with us through our website. You can reach out to our customer service. There's so many ways to find out what's happening. You can find out also, you can sign up for our email blast. We do great. Well, you'll find out about all the neat stuff that we bring in. You are also then, we get to tell you about all new promotions that are happening before that they start. If you're on our email blast, that's what I mean. We do not send out a lot of emails. We just want to be informative. We want to let you know what's happening. So that is kind of neat. We have a number of talks coming up in the next little while. We have Winsor Newton coming up, I believe, sometime next month. We are also trying to get Alina from A. Gallo Watercolors. They were very, very popular when we first brought them in. So, and a lot of excitement, because I know we had a lot of likes and interest on that one. So once we know from A. Gallo when they're available, we will be having them as a live. Also in the next couple weeks, something that's coming up, of course, the Toronto Outdoor Art Fair is coming up. That is the weekend of July. I always get the dates wrong. It's not this weekend, it's the following weekend. July 2nd to the 9th. Oh, okay. So the outdoor part of it is the following weekend, like the 8th and 9th. But you'll be able to see online a lot of the artists that are involved. Again, Gwartzman's is really honored to be we are part of it with an honorable mention in painting. So if you go to the show, you know what, enjoy it. It is always a great show to see. Also, the following weekend is the Urban Sketchers Toronto Conference. We are so glad to be part of that as well. We are a sponsor for that weekend. And yes, I will be there. So if you do come to do some urban sketching, I look forward to meeting you on that weekend. And just so you know, a lot of the things that the Yugo New Wave products are perfect for also if you're an urban sketcher and you do use water mixable oils or you like to use your acrylics. Any mixed media would be perfect on many of their palettes. So if you're an urban sketcher, I look forward to seeing you on the weekend of the 16th and 17th. So that should be exciting. Can't remember, there's always stuff coming up. Man, the summer is already going way, way too fast for me. So I don't know how we can keep up with all of it. So I'm going to show you a picture of the guys who we're supposed to meet, Keith and Kyle. So if you haven't met them, where is that great picture I just had here? There we go. Those are the two brothers, Keith and Kyle. Yes, we are supposed to be chatting with them. So I hope that they're going to connect. I'm just going to talk to the people behind me and see if there's something we should be doing differently. Okay. I wonder if he's
not online yet.
Okay. Do we need to email them?
We've been messaging.
Okay.
Do you have your email?
Well, I shall keep talking then. So you can get to know all about them. Now, for those of you that are plein air painters, or if you are just an acrylic or an oil painter, they make a wide range of palettes. So this was some of the original ones that they made. These are their, easy to peel. This is easy. This is actually a great size. This is 6 by 10, kind of cool so that you can carry it either with you or keep it in your studio. They make these great small palettes as well. This is like a plastic, so it's peelable. I can flex it a little bit. You really don't want to do that, but I'm just showing you how it works. They do also have it in the gray. And I'm just going to flip it around so that you can see the gray. Now, of course, I've got the plastic on it. But this was one of the products that Michael Harding loves, because when you put his paints on it, it really makes the colors pop. It shows the neutral color. It doesn't change or distort the colors that you put down. They come in all different sizes. I only grabbed 2 because I ran out of space, and you get the idea when you see them. They also make it in a strip palette, and I don't think I can open it, but we do have them in the white and also in the gray. And you can see by the shape, which I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it. So it's sort of to fit the curve, not only of your body, but also where your hand goes in. And it's got the thumb hole for easy to use. I'm going to assume that you can use it either for left hand or right hand, because I'm a stickler for all of that. I will show you that they do also make these also easy peel plastic ones, which also has the thumb hole. And again, they've made it so that you can either use it for right hand or left hand. I like asking the question with a lot of companies when I say, okay, so can a left-handed person use this? And there's not always a lot of companies that will tell me that they actually make something for, or can be used with your left hand, or as an artist, if you're holding it with your left hand or right hand. Get kind of fussy about that. So those are just a few of the palettes that they make, and they make them in all different sizes. As I say, I don't have them all here. We also have the glass, which I will show you, which a lot of you I know love, and they come in all different sizes, whether it is the clear or the gray. And the tinted gray is one of their newer ones. We've had it for a few years. This is the gray, and there's the gray one there. Also, as I say, any of you that are huge fans, they also make so that these things can work with the Stay Wet palettes. So it's kind of cool that you can now, really incorporate everything together and not have to worry or wonder whether it's going to fit or not. I did want to show you some of the new things that they have. And I was hoping that the guys would come on so we can chat. But you know what? When they do come on, we'll chat anyways, because they're just so nice to talk to. So this was at the trade show. This is their new product. And you can see it looks like a briefcase. And what I liked about it was that if you're a plein air painter, you know, you want to carry your wet paintings back with you. And so this is made to be a carrier, and it's probably easier for them to explain it. We did have some kind of a chat about it at the show. I don't know if you can see the inside there. This is like steel. This is metal. This is heavy duty. And they've done it so that you can fit your panels inside. And you can actually adjust whether they're going to be all small ones or all larger ones. It's really up to you how you want to fit them in. So it's not a light product, I'm going to be honest with you. It's got a bit of weight to it, but they did it that way so that there would be structure, so that when you're carrying your paintings home, they're not going to run, you know, nothing is going to get messed up. You're not going to have paint clumping from one painting to another. So you can see that from the inside, that they've got really nice wide adjustments. It comes in 2 sizes. Let's see, I'm going to be playing with it while I'm here so that you can see some of the features that they have. You see, pulling that out so that you can fit things in. And I'm sure that's one thing. If we can't get them on today, we will definitely have them back on to explain how some of these great things work. But I did want to have this to show you because they come in 2 sizes. So this is the smaller one. I'd say this is about approximately 10 by 14 on the exterior. The interior is made, of course, a little bit smaller because it's got to accommodate smaller panels. I didn't unpack it because, of course, I want you to have the pleasure of unpacking some of these other things. So this is the larger one, and this one is, I would say, about almost a 14 by 18 on the exterior. And then it does have a weight, so if you're concerned about that, it does have weight. We do have the carrying, they do have the carrying, and my husband's been explaining to me how these are amazing for your shoulder so that you don't have the weight on your shoulder when you're carrying these things. So this is kind of cool and really a nice part of the product. Apparently we've got one of them going to be, they're coming. They're actually going to be coming. Well, you still had to listen to me then. So does anybody have any questions or do you have any comments? I'm going to say hi again to everyone that's been joining us. Thank you, whoever you are and wherever you are. I know that we've been connecting with that join us, and I love it. I just getting tired of listening to just me talking about art supplies, but that's what I do, and I've been doing it since, wow, since so I've been meeting a lot of artists for a long time. Someone says that the audio is off. Can everybody hear me? I'm just going to ask the question. Someone mentioned that the audio is off. Can you hear me speaking now? We just want to make sure that we've got a good connection. Hello, Eileen from San Francisco. We've got lots of Californians today. That's great. Audio keeps going on and off. Oh, I'm sorry, Merrick. There we go. We've got New Wave joining us, and we're going to try and see what happens. We haven't seen that there's an issue with, okay, it says it's okay now. On and off.
No. Go live.
Go live. Okay, we're going live with them, and hopefully we'll see what happens. I'm also not in my regular space, so hopefully you can hear me.
Here we go.
And there we are. Hey.
Hey, I owe you a big apology. Sorry, I have pallets in the way here. So it's a small shop. There's about 10 of us here, and there's always things that transpire during the day that are completely out of our control. And we had something happen where I had to run around, and I apologize.
That's okay. We've got a nice audience that are watching us all across, well, I won't even say just North America. They're from all over the place, apparently. So we're going to all wave again and say hi to everyone. Thank you again for joining us.
Hey, guys.
I hope I haven't distorted talking about your products too much. I've just been saying how great they are.
Well, I
You know me.
appreciate that. Thank you very much. For everyone, my name's Keith O'Brien. I'm one of the owners of New Wave Art. I started it with my brother about, I guess 10 or 11 years ago. And we are still running around like madmen every single day, trying to make sure everything runs as smoothly as humanly possible. But every once in a while, it catches up with us, and we make mistakes like this. So I apologize again. But how do you want to? I don't want to jump in. I know you've been talking about the stuff. How do you want to get started with this?
Well, you know what? For people that don't know your story, I know that you include a little piece of information in your boxes and things. Why don't you just first tell everyone, how did you get started? What made you go into the art supply business?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to. So I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Kyle and I, we used to work in commercial real estate, and we used to basically like lease office space and lease industrial buildings and things of that nature. And I did it for about 10 years, and Kyle did it for about 6 years. And it was kind of like a rat race. Every year you just went around in a circle. And it was kind of like that corporate loop that everybody talks about. And it really wasn't that fulfilling for us. Both of us kind of had really creative backgrounds. When I first got started in going to school and everything, I actually was going to be an art education teacher. Kyle he was economics, so he wasn't as creative right away, but he has like that engineering mindset, so he's very good with, I guess, a mechanical mind. And he and I were just unhappy with what we were doing. And so our father had always been painting, and for years he had said, you should check out my idea. So growing up, he was kind of like a weekend warrior. He had a little spare bedroom where he would paint away, and he always held a palette. And he hated the palettes that were out there. So back, I guess maybe 20 years ago, he went to the local hardware store, and he cut out a design of a palette that had 3 points. And it rested against his body, and it balanced between his hand, his forearm, and his torso. And so he used this palette in his studio for years, and he knew that Kyle and I were trying to look for something else to get into. And it was right around like 2008, 2009. And he said, why don't you check out my idea? And we looked at him, we said, you're crazy. It's an artist palette. There's no way anything's going to happen with this. But then the market fell apart back in 08, 09. And he said, well, what do you think about my idea now? And so, you never listen to your parents, but we decided, hey, he didn't want to do anything with it. But he had a lot of faith in his idea. And we took a look at it, and we said, hey, we can make the wood palettes. We can do lower end products that might be made out of paper and plastic, so they're less expensive. And then the wooden pallets would be the higher end products. And so we said we'd take a stab at it and see what would happen. So we decided to quit our jobs like right away, because we just wanted to get out. So we quit our jobs way too soon, and everyone thought we were crazy because we were leaving our jobs to make artist palettes. And we initially outsourced everything to the Amish, and we just did wooden pallets. And what we found out was when you outsource products, a lot of times you just don't get the quality that you want to provide, that you would provide in-house. And so we learned that lesson very quickly. And even the Amish, as good as they are, they were not providing a quality product that was up to our standards. So slowly but surely, we started making the products ourselves. And we outsourced little pieces of manufacturing, but we did a lot in-house. And slowly but surely, as we grew, we started bringing more and more pieces in-house. So we started in back bedroom. We worked in a garage for about 5 or 6 years. We worked in a garage, and then a garage in a basement. And then I guess probably about 5 years ago, we moved into a warehouse space for the first time. And we slowly started to do more and more of the activities in-house. And so now so I guess 11 years in, we have a wood shop. There's 10 of us here. Wood shop, we do the spray booth is in-house, where we spray all the wooden products that everyone's familiar with. We do the manufacturing for the glass products. We handle some injection molding with all the Masterson products. We do paper and paper assembly and all that stuff. And it's just become a giant manufacturing operation, which we never expected. But it's just been kind of this evolution, and we've just added products over time. So we started off with the wooden. I'm kind of rambling. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
We started off with the wooden products. Then we added paper, and then plastic, and then the glass. We started cross marketing with Masterson way back then. All of that. And then we came out with Yugo about 5 years ago, which is the line of outdoor painting gear. Yep. And so the goal there was to make the lightest, most compact plein air pochade box on the market at a reasonable price. And so we're able to do that because it's all in house. But yeah, it's just evolved over the years, and it's been a lot of fun. And our favorite part is just designing the products and the branding of the products, and it's just been a lot of fun for us, and we love it. So
where do you get the ideas for all the new products that you have?
So a little bit of it is in-house. You kind of just see what's needed, but it's also from the people that are on this call. So people will email us all the time, and retailers like yourself, they'll give us a call, and people will say, hey, we need this, or we need that, or this is already on the market, but it's not that good. And we strive to make really, really good products. And so it's from a whole host of different things, but we're always working on new stuff.
Well, I know from experience, always bringing in new and I know that we've probably known each other at least the 10, 11 years when you started. I know it's relatively new for us that we've been working with your product. And, it's amazing, but I was going to say it can be sometimes Pandora's box, because artists have so many ideas on the best product to help them. How do you say no? Like, how do you, I know I find it hard to say no because I'm always looking at new product. How do you say no? Or do you make a test of it and see who's interested, or you give it to your dad and then you say, no, not going to work?
So we have to, we're very conscientious about what we give to him, because he will always say it's great, it's perfect, I love it. And so we usually, he gives us good feedback, but it's usually really positive feedback, even when it shouldn't be positive. So he's a good dad. But to be honest with you, all the information we get is good, because you just never know where it's going to lead to. It's kind of like when so we just went to a show for Portrait Society of America a couple weeks ago, and you never know who you're going to meet, and you have these random conversations, and they just lead you in different directions. And that's kind of the same way with getting emails from customers. We always get, someone might say, hey, I'm thinking about this, but it might lead to something else. So every idea is a good idea. So if anyone ever has ideas that they want to talk to us about, just shoot us an email.
Okay. Well, we've had a lot of people joining us while we've been chatting for the past couple of minutes. So I'm just going to wave and say hi and say thank you very much for joining us. For those of you that don't know, my name is Jackie G, and I'm with Wartsman's Art Supplies, and I'm really excited to have Keith O'Brien join us from the New Wave Company. And you're located in Pennsylvania?
So we are right outside of Philadelphia, about 40 minutes west of Philadelphia, right by Valley Forge National Park, if anyone's familiar with that.
Wow, that sounds very cool. Now, the artists that you have on Instagram, do some of them go to that park that you were just describing?
No. Well, the funny thing is, we work with a handful of artists locally, but most of the artists that we work with are all over the country. I'm trying to think just off the top of my head. There's only a couple artists that we deal with locally. Philly's a pretty good art scene. You have Studio Incominati, if you're familiar with that. That's right down in downtown Philly. That was started by Nelson Shanks. Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, we do deal with some people there. There's a guy named Nielsen Carlin. He has an atelier, which is in Kennett Square, which is a little bit south of us. So it's a pretty good art scene here, but But the cool thing, so we always get jealous of Yugo because, especially with Instagram, so someone will take it on a trip. And what's cool about it is you're always, with any sort of product, you always want cool pictures, right? You want to see how the product's being used. And Yugo goes everywhere. Like, we see pictures in New Zealand and Australia and in the Far East and all over the place. And we're stuck here in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. So it's, yeah. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing all the places that one product touches.
You know, you should do one of the, I'm going to give you an idea, and actually anybody who's joining us that has a Yugo product, specifically, I think it would be very cool with the boxes, is they should send you a photo and say, it's like, it's been here. You know, when it kind of does that travel. That would be a really neat post if you had people posting it from all over the world, and then you have the captions showing. Just an idea.
No, so for everybody that's listening, if you end up using Yugo either at home or abroad, just take a picture, throw it on Instagram, tag us, and we typically repost a lot of the things we're tagged in. That's
very, very cool.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. So Instagram's cool. So
it is very cool, like today.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I was chatting a little bit about, you'll remember at the show, sorry, someone is asking, what is the main hashtag that you want them to use if they're going to show your product?
So it's a good question. It's hashtag New Wave Art. So,
okay, so we'll post that too. It'll be hashtag New Wave Art if anybody wants to send Keith and Carl on Instagram their photos of how it's traveled the world. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, no, so hashtag New Wave Art or hashtag Yugo Plein Air. So UGO Plein Air. And so either one of those two we check routinely.
Great. That would be great. I did have a question so that we can tell everyone how great these are, because this was new that we brought in from the NAMTA show. And I didn't want to make a mistake in explaining. I don't know if we can chat about it while I'm holding one and you can tell me what to do. So
absolutely. Let me grab the, I'm just going to take you guys around real quick. I'm going to grab the label so that I can go through some of the details on it.
So again, I was just telling everyone before that this is a new product that we purchased when we brought in, when we were at it's the NAMTA show, which is basically a retailer show for us to go and see all the goodies that our suppliers and manufacturers come up with that we haven't seen yet or they're just launching. This was a new product that the New Wave company launched. And so I immediately ordered a few because, plein air season, we've all got to be prepared for it. We only have, well, in this part of North America, we only have a shorter period of time, anywhere between, I guess, let's say April to October. I'm sure some of you in the US or elsewhere also know that short period of time. So let's just hear if you can tell us.
So that's the medium-sized one. I'm just going to grab this large one.
I was showing that we have the large one too.
Yep. So there's two models. There's a large model and there's a medium model. So the goal here was there's some great products out there. So but the traditional wet panel carrier is either made from wood or it's made from cardboard. And that's namely what you'll see on the market. And when we look at stuff, we just try to go above and beyond. So we really wanted to make a product that was going to last, for the most part, lifetime is an exaggeration for anything, but a very long time. It's made incredibly well. So it's actually made out of dry bag material. So if you're familiar with kayaking or, if you go camping or backcountry camping, you'll have this dry bag material, and it's extremely heavy duty, and it's weatherproof. So that's the exterior of the bag that you see Jacqueline holding. The interior of the bag, if you want to open up that lid, you'll see it's actually an aluminum frame. So we wanted to make something rigid enough that your panels would be protected no matter what transpired. And even when Jacqueline closes that lid, we actually put a piece of plastic inside that flap right there. So if something were to puncture where we don't have the aluminum, your painting would be safe. So we thought about those little things. The inside, it's a plastic, basically a plastic rail system. So you can see that there's a main rail, which is connected to the aluminum. And then what Jacqueline just pulled out, that's a reducer rail. And so each wet panel carrier comes with 2 reducers. So the method to our madness, trying to keep this simple, is you have a large and you have a medium. The large one, if you were to just look at the size of the bag itself, is 12 inches by 16 inches, which everyone's familiar with as a very common size. The medium one is 9 inches by 12 inches, which is, again, a very common size. But each of those reducer tracks is 1 inch. So you can either use both of them at the same time, or you can use one of them at a time. And by utilizing either both reducer tracks, one reducer track, or no reducer tracks, for the large wet panel carrier, you're able to get up to 8 different common panel sizes in there. And for the medium one, you're able to get up to 6 common panel sizes in there. So between the two,
sorry, I was just going to say, so in this one, you can fit up to 8?
So is that the large one?
That's a small, this is the 12 by 16.
So it looks like the medium one. That's why I'm asking.
Medium.
Maybe it's okay. So the medium one is 9 by 12, and that holds up to 6 different common panel sizes, and up to 4 panels at a time. So you do 2 back to back. So it's kind of six all together, but 4 at a time.
Okay.
So right. So together they hold up to 14 different common sizes, which really covers the entire gamut of panel sizes.
And I noticed that it has a bit of weight to them.
So that's because of the aluminum and because of the size, because we wanted to hold the different panels. So the large one is about 4.75 pounds, and the small one is about 3.1 pounds.
Okay.
If you put it, it's a common question. If you grab it like this, you notice the weight. As soon as you put that on your shoulder, it's going to feel like a feather. And that's the way it's supposed to be carried. So it comes with that strap that Jacqueline's holding right now, and that clips onto the 2 sides. And that was the one thing that we tested out with multiple artists, because when you grab it, you're like, oh, it's 3 pounds or that's 4 pounds. But as soon as you put it on your shoulder, it's lighter than a backpack.
Wow.
So.
And we put way too much in our backpacks anyways.
This is true.
And these just came out this year, correct?
I'm sorry?
These just came out this year?
Yes. So they just launched a couple weeks ago. So Jacqueline is I'm probably one of like 2 retail shops in all of Canada that have this product. So it's and probably one of like 6 retail shops in all of the world that have the product right now. So yes. So yeah, it's a brand new product, but feedback's been really good so far, and we sold a bunch at Portrait Society when we went there about a month and a half ago, and the feedback was awesome. That's
great, and I'll just say again, because it's one of my favorite products. It pairs well with this. This is the smallest in the Yugo palettes. Boxes, I should say. So it does pair well with it if you're looking to carry something nice and small.
Yep.
We do have all the other sizes, but I just grabbed this one because to me this is just like the sweetest way to carry something. You know. So
that product is 6 inches by 8 inches, and it is about 1.2 pounds, and it can still hold up to 9 inches vertical with your panels, which actually fits in the medium panel holder.
That is just
so yeah, really cool product there.
Yeah, it is. So are any of them your favorite product? Like, do you have one that you can
favorite?
say no.
No, it's a good question. So the only thing I can say is
or what you're
just trying to
proudest
think
of.
What's
Or
that?
what you're proudest of?
What we're proudest of? It's got to be Yugo, because Yugo took about 2.5 years to put together, and from a design standpoint, we designed it in house, and we manufacture the entire thing soup to nuts in house. So, for instance, when we you can kind of see it behind these curtains here, so you can kind of see big stacks of wood.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start the product, it's just gigantic stacks of wood. That's all it is. And then what it ends up is what you saw in Jacqueline's hand right there. So it was a lot of work putting together. From a mathematical standpoint, everything had to fit perfectly. If you open it up, we realized we had very little room for mistake. So even when we cut it, we have to make sure everything is precise. Yeah. It's still a product. It's still a product when we finish it and we hold it in our hands. We still like it. And so sometimes you get bored with things, right? And you're like, oh, I'm tired of this product. But I personally never feel that way with Yugo. I still look at it and I'm like, wow, this is a really cool product. I like it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I love also the magnets that you have here for the closure, because when it's tight, when you close it, it's just that nice
Click.
tight. It just sort of, and it doesn't move. It doesn't flop open. It's I've got to push it a little bit to open it again. Someone was asking what the price point is. I don't have it in front of me if you're asking what it is in Canadian dollars, but it is on our website, gwartzmans.com, and we do have it in the store. It is a higher end product, but you know what? It is worth the investment because you're going to have it forever.
You're going to have that forever. Yeah.
Now, what I didn't bring in, because we do have it, was the extension tool that you had made. The extender for larger canvases. So that is also available in case you're working a little bit bigger. So
we have 3 different sizes. Jacqueline has the small one. We have a medium size, and then we have a large size. And we have different panel extenders. We have ones with longer necks, kind of like you're seeing Jacqueline do with that. We also have ones with longer grips. So if you're working with a stretched canvas or a thicker panel, you can do that. And Jacqueline carries all those products. I'm trying to. So it's such a simple product. I run out of things to talk about.
No, that's okay. I mean, I can just tell you, I've been a huge fan of it, and we started bringing in more and more of the ampersand. So I was showing how this just fits so great inside. It is really just such a neat idea. I just think it's amazing for anybody who's interested or thinking about plein air, or sitting in the backyard or going to a park or something. It's just so convenient. Doesn't take up a lot of room.
No, it's I was saying to Jacqueline earlier, a few people might be new. So the idea behind Yugo was to make something that was incredibly compact, very easy to set up, very quick to break down. It's really designed to be used with 1/8-inch panels because they're super lightweight. When you go into the field, you don't want to bring a lot of paint. You don't want to bring super heavy panels. And so we also designed it more like a laptop. So you have friction hinges. So you don't have those wing nuts on the side that a lot of people complain about with like the old Julian boxes, things of that nature. So you can open it up 180 degrees if you want, which is pretty cool. The other thing that's kind of cool about the product, so Jacqueline, if you open that up, so you can switch out your palette. So there is a removable sidewall on the left. There you go. The other side right there. So and then you can slide your palette out. So so you can switch it out to gray, which I know Jacqueline carries. If you find that you want to preserve different size, but same product.
Same idea.
Yeah, you got it. Yep. So at the end of the day, if you're working with oils and you want to throw your oils into the freezer so they're preserved, you can easily slide out the palette, put that in the freezer. You can do the same with acrylics. Obviously not in the freezer, but you could actually put them in a Masterson box. Masterson Stay Wet. You want to flip that guy around. Yep, there you go. So the story with Masterson, it's the story with Masterson. Masterson's been around since 1973, which is kind of crazy. We came out, when we were coming out with a bunch of pallet products, we came out with these glass pallets. And so the glass pallets that Jacqueline also carries, they're made out of tempered glass, seamed edges, custom corner guards. They come in clear, gray, and white. And so what we do is we spray the backs in-house, and it's made with a super durable glass spray, basically a glass paint, but it's resistant to water, it's resistant to scratching and cracking and all your heavy solvents, so it's not something that's going to fall apart on you. But when we first came out with the product, the weird disconnect was a lot of teachers would always say, hey, I recommend the Masterson Blue Lid Pallet Seal along with a glass pallet, but we want you to go, there's no glass pallets out there that fit this great blue lid box, so we want you to go to a frame shop, just get it cut, just regular plate glass, tape the edges, and you'll be cool. Well, a lot of people had broken glass all the time, broken glass in their book bag. We heard horror stories. So there was kind of a disconnect, but because there was no safe glass palette for artists to use. So that's really what we came out with. It's so tempered, seamed edges, colored back, and custom corners. And it's a really simple product, but it's functional. And it's something that you can take right out of the bag and utilize. And a lot of artists already have a lot of the Masterson products because they've been around so long. So all of our, I didn't mention, they're also made out of 3 sizes, 9 by 12, 12 by 16, and then we do have a 16 by 20, which is great in the studio. But the 9 by 12 and 12 by 16, they're designed to fit inside the Masterson products, which you carry. And so if you're going to class or like we were talking about earlier, if you want to try to preserve your paints by putting them in the freezer, you can easily use the Masterson Palette Seal or the Stay Wet system if you're working with acrylic, and put it in the freezer, go to and from class. It just becomes a very safe way to transport your paints, whether you're working with oil or acrylic.
Wow.
And that was my spiel.
We had, hey, that's great. I mean, it really is, that's the whole idea of me having you on as a guest, is really to explain what the products are about. When they come into our store and they can ask us all kinds of questions, it really is wonderful to have you on so that you can explain it. We had 2 questions that showed up. I'm going to try and see if I can answer them or ask them to you. I think someone was asking whether this would hold a watercolor pad.
Yes, so what a lot of artists do, that's really an awesome question, actually. So there's 2 things you can do. Number one, if you want to work with the holders which come with the box, you have to squeeze it to make sure it holds. Yeah. But what a lot of people end up doing, if you're working with that, they'll open it up 180 degrees. So if you take the product and open it up flat like this, so you can literally just, there you go. Yep, just like that. So what a lot of artists will end up doing is they will have it on the tripod and they will so I actually have some, let me see here. So these are unfinished, but what a lot of artists will end up doing is they'll lay it flat and they'll lay their watercolor block or watercolor pad on the lid portion that Jacqueline has her hand, the lid, there you go, right there. And then they'll take their watercolor, basically you have a watercolor tin, and 99.9% of those tins are magnetic. So for ease of cleanup, what a lot of artists will do is they'll just open up that tin and put it on the palette surface that Jacqueline's pointing to right now, and it connects directly to those rare earth magnets. And it holds it down like it's anchored into that base right there with the magnets. And so it makes for really easy cleanup because if you want to mix on the palette surface with watercolor, you can, but if you want to just use your tin, you can easily do so. And then when it's time to clean up, you just close it up real quick and close up your box and you're good to go. Another option another option is Jacqueline carries these canvas extenders. So it's a bottom and a top panel holder, which are just, instead of those teeth that you see that hold 1/8 inch, they're longer and they hold up to 1 inch canvases. So if you're working with a stretch canvas or you're working with a watercolor block that's thicker, you can easily upgrade to one of those holders and you're good to go.
Wow, that is just so cool. So it is totally versatile.
Oh,
and you know what?
Yeah.
You just taught me something new because I didn't know that, and now we're totally going to talk about this all the time.
Yeah, so a lot of watercolor artists use the Yugo, and I'll be honest with you, that is not something we planned. So we always planned on having to do some sort of insert for the for watercolor artists, for the palette itself. So you see the removable sidewall? You can give that a squeeze. There you go. Perfect. But so we always expected to do some sort of palette insert for watercolor artists, but automatically people started taking their tins and just laying it out on the top. It connected to the magnets. And what we realized from a functional standpoint, it just made things so much quicker for setup, so much quicker for closing up and cleanup. It just ended up working out.
So cool. Somebody else asked, and I think it has to do with the box. I'm not quite sure if the TSA allows it on the airplane.
Oh, because of the teeth there. So we have had people transport their box with carry-ons, and we have not been told there's been a problem. I also know people that prefer to be on the safe side, and they end up putting it on their checked luggage or within their checked luggage. Okay. I've heard both, but I've never heard of anybody saying that something was held by TSA because they were afraid it was a danger.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Any tidbits, anything else you want to share with us? Anything new that we're, all going to look forward to?
So we are working on more. We are working on more diesel products, which hopefully will be out in the next 18 months, 12 to 18 months. So that's going to be more Yugo products. We are working on a couple different new things for Yugo, the actual anywhere pochade boxes, so the pochade boxes you had in your hands. And we're always working on a bunch of different things. I will say, so the product is, so a big question we always have is the product safe if I get oil paint on it and I need to clean off the oil paint? We actually, so the same finish that we use to manufacture, to coat our wooden pallets, we use on Yugo. So it's a proprietary finish that we've used for the past, I guess, 11 years. And so it's resistant to turpentine, terpenoid, mineral spirits, all those heavy solvents. So we're basically, your pochade box and the pallets are finished with a top-of-the-line finish. So if you need to use solvents to clean it off or anything like that, even if you end up getting water on it, it's not going to affect the product. So to Jacqueline's point, if you take care of it and you don't throw it off of a building, which probably will not happen, or throw it out your car while you're doing like 60, this product will last you a long, long time. It's just made incredibly well. We take it very seriously. We make it soup to nuts in-house, and we have multiple quality control checks throughout the process. So it's just a really good product that we're pretty proud of. So
it's very cool. I'm so glad we got to connect today. I just wanted to, I don't want to take, I know you have a lot going on. We rescued you from some crisis. I hope.
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. It's a chance to take your mind away from the normal day-to-day that everyone deals with. So I enjoy doing these calls, and we're happy to do them whenever you'd like to. So thank you for having us.
Thank you. Well, I want to just say hi to all those that are still joining us. I really want to thank you very much for tuning in today. Again, my name is Jackie G, and I'm with Gwartzman's Art Supplies here in Toronto. We do stock all of the products that we've been talking about, from the Yugo, Masterson Stay Wet, everything in between. We do have a giveaway, and it was really nice of Keith to help us out with this. So the giveaway is one of these. It's a 6x10 palette. This is one of their easy, clean palettes. You can take it anywhere. And the question that you have to answer, and first I'm going to tell you what the instructions are, because you know my staff always give me instructions. First of all, we'd like you to like us. We'd like you to like the Gwartzman's account. We'd also like you to check out the New Wave Yugo products, so you can check them out on Instagram as well. Now, the question is, what is the definition of plein air? Now, we're not looking for anything specific. We want to hear from you. What you say is, what is the definition of plein air? It is, you're going to comment on our post once we finish and it goes live, so you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to type in and write your answer. It will be a random choice, so it's not going to be the first person, because we know we have so many of you that type very quickly. But again, you're going to be able to we'll ship this anywhere across North America. I'm sorry, anybody international who's watching, but this is only for North America. And this is because of Keith, so we want to thank him very much. We're very proud of carrying all of your products. It's always exciting for me to show them off. I talked for the first 20 minutes about how great they were. So everybody knows that I think that they're great. They're very versatile, very affordable, because they make such a great range. So thank you, Keith. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it too.
Thank you. And next week it'll be something new again. We'll be posting on if we have a guest or if we're going to be chatting about art materials. If you have any more questions or comments about the Yugo or New Wave products, let us know. And if it's something that we can't answer, we'll ask and we'll send it to Keith and Kyle, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, they will answer us, and we'll be able to pass the information along to you. And some great questions that came in today. So it was just really wonderful to chat about these fantastic products. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Have a great day. Have a great week. And please keep on creating and do some plein air painting. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jacqueline.
Thank you. Thanks again.